Yeah, hi Shambhu, how are you? Yeah, I'm also fine. I'm preparing well, and thanks giving me opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Ashrar Khan. I completed my BTech in computer science. Then I joined as an full-time employee as a QA engineer in Incupo Technologies. I I have worked on manual testing, also in automation testing. In manual testing, I work on preparing the test case, writing the test case, mm, um, finding the defect, and collaboration with the development team and senior team. And I have fixed production level issues, and I have done several testing like smoke testing, regression testing, system testing, integration testing, like all this functional testing. I have hands-on experience, and in automation testing, I work on banking domain, also in sales and advertising domain. In this, uh, I have used Maven, Cucumber, RestAssured API, also used TestNG. Mm, Also used different annotations. I have created base class, page object classes, also created test classes. In Cucumber, I have scratchly built a framework like feature file, step definitions, and steps. In Also in REST assured API, also used Pojo class, Pojo class, and route class. I have created, and status code like put, patch, update, delete, um, uh, different CRUD method I have used, and different we can validate through different status code like 200, 201, 400, 500. All these things I have tested through REST assured API. So yeah, this is my project, and this is all about me. Mm, Test automation basically, it is required for automation, so we can found many defects which are which are not found by development. So as an automation test engineer, our role and responsibility should be, we have to deliver this product to the client, bug free, so they can grow their business effortlessly. So they can run their business without any hesitation, so they can generate the revenue. So our goal is delivering the high quality product to the end user customer. Yeah. So basically, manual testing required manual effort. So there it is not 100% achieve 100% bug free. In automation testing, it is less time consuming from on manual testing. In manual testing, uh, we have we have to give more amount to the automation test engineer, but in manual test engineer, it is required 4 or 5 manual test engineer to automate one test product. But in automation testing, it is less time consuming also, and one test engineer can automate entire software within some limitation time. So basically, time will be saved, and our resources will be saved. In automation testing, we can automate a lot of pages within some time. But in manual testing, it is it is means it, it is lot of time to manually test. So it is not 100% guarantee that we have test 100% fully testing. So this is the difference between manual testing and automation testing. Which automation tool? Okay, which factor? So basically it is depends. If it is UI based application, we can use TestNG, Selenium. It can support Java language, Python language, Ruby, C Sharp, all these different language it can support, and different browser. Also, we can automate through Selenium, like Windows, Mac, Linux. We can different OS platform. We can test our UI application. So in if we choose mobile testing, so we will use APM. If you choose API testing, so we can use tool like RestAssured API. mm, so mm, yeah. mm, Basically, test automation pyramid start from unit testing, then it come to regression testing, and it will, after that we have to test system testing, end-to-end testing. So in unit testing, we know that in development side, each and every line of source of code we have to test. This is comes under unit testing. After that, regression testing. In regression testing, whatever the functionality previously working, so after changes in the new build, it should not impact on the previous build. Also in, it will not find any defect in the uh, any further features. So we can test in the regression testing. After that, end to end testing from login, like mm, if you take e-commerce website, so from login page to delivery the product to the end users and customers, so total process we can go through end to end system testing. So this cover with the in the automation pyramid. In test automation, continuous integration we can achieve through CI/CD pipeline or Jenkins. So it is a part of DevOps team. So whenever we will write the code in our local system, so we can push our code to the Git repository, from Git to GitHub. Then from there we will push our code. We can run our code in the Jenkins. So it is continuous integration. Anytime. Anytime our senior team member can execute our code, and they can analyze. So yeah. Selenium is an open source tool, so anyone can use freely. So it is a vast library to automate any UI application. Basically, it can handle UI application. Selenium support different language like Java, Selenium, Java, Python, etc., and also support different operating system like Linux, Ubuntu, Mac, Windows. And it will support different library. And we can use assert for from TestNG. It is we can validate our test cases, so we can pass our test case, we can fail our test cases. So Selenium also provide extend report, so we can see the report, and we can analyze where the how many test cases have passed, how many test cases have failed, how many test cases are skipped. Selenium WebDriver agent. Selenium, Selenium RC. Okay, Selenium WebDriver. Basically, it is an interface. So when we are launching our driver, so basically we will write WebDriver. Then we can use which driver we want to launch, like Chrome or Firefox or Explore, Safari or Opera or Edge, which driver we want to launch. So basically we are creating WebDriver as an interface of a reference driver. Then we can create the object of the Chrome driver, Firefox driver, Opera driver. So through this object we can run our URL. We can launch our URL. So remote web driver is a class extend which is extend different browser like Chrome browser, Opera browser, Safari browser, Edge browser. So remote web driver class can implement different interface like WebDriver, um, take screenshot, Java executor. Yeah, automation tool. No, no. In Selenium, we cannot capture. It is not 100%. First of all, we cannot automate captcha, video, audio. So video, audio, and I think this is the main disadvantage of Selenium automation. Advantage, it can support different language and different web browser, and we can automate any mm, web application. Selenium grid is basically we can run our trace cases in the local repository from the pom.xml file. So there we can run our test cases. Mm, in WebDriver and in Selenium Grid, without launching in the console, we can run our code. But in WebDriver, we when we run our test cases, it will showing in the console. So that is the main difference. Yeah, in TestNG, we can see the reports in the report folder when we execute our test cases. So basically, we can see in the default Selenium TestNG. By default, it will show the report in the report folder, and we also used a third-party library like Extend Report Manager, so we can see the UI of that. Graphically, we can see the report. Framework is basically used different classes. um, different classes we can collaborate with this package. In different package we can write in the src test main. So this main we can use in the framework like TestNG framework we have used, like hybrid driven framework. In this pom.xml are there, test data also are there. report also are there, log also are there, all this combination of that framework. Script, basically we are writing that automation script to execute the different web pages or find to locate this element. For this we are writing the script to test the UI application. Different framework I have used, like TestNG framework I have used, Cucumber framework I have used, and API testing, REST assured API framework I have used. In Yeah, I have used in the Cucumber. So there I have used behavior driven development. So there I have created different packages. In these packages, like features file, I have created login dot features. Then corresponding in login dot features I have created features file, scenario features files. In this given when, then I have used gherkin language keywords statements I have used. In this I am just writing the simple whatever the UI page I have automate. So like that I have used, like first go to that login page, after that I have to, when that user ID and password, in that we have to pass, and validation, then we have to like this page should be display, like that we can pass corresponding this method we have to create in that step definition file. In step definition file, whatever the features file exact sentence exact uh, test cases are there should be matched with the step definition, otherwise we will get error. So it should be match. After that we have to pass the, when we passing the username and password, so there it will take in the step definition string format value it will take. Then we have to pass, then in validate we just we are like locating that element, we are passing that locator xpath or mm, xpath of that particular element, so we are passing the step definition. In in test, we are writing like cucumber class and annotation that one, and we have to pass glue. In glue we will write that we will write the step definition package name we will provide, and also um, we will provide the feature file name. If multiple feature file we want to execute directly, we can pass the package name. Otherwise, if we want to one particular feature file, then we will pass package name along with dot slash that particular file, feature file, then it will execute particular feature file. Yeah, then we can validate, like a report generate will also is there. It will generate the report and we can analyze it is test is pass, fail or skipped. Test cases. First of all, we are if we are using we are using BDD framework, so we will write given when then format. In given we will pass the what is what is the steps are there. In when we will pass the whatever the required data is there. So we will pass and then we can validate. In between any extra features or the extra steps are there, we can use and keyword. In TestNG we will write the test cases, like in test case we are writing in the page object class. In page object class we can write first constructor, then locator, then action method. Page object model. You are asking pom.x, pom.x. Page object model is basically used to locate the different pages. So in page object model, we can write different classes. In different classes, uh, constructor is there, so which is basically derived from the base page. In base page only constructor is there, web driver. So we can inherit this web driver by using super keyword in the page object classes. In page object classes, constructor is there. Then whatever the page elements is there, we have to find out. So we are using a locator. In this locator, web element and element name we are passing. This element we can pass in the action method and perform the action like clicks and keys. All these things we can perform. So basically, when we test our when we test our test cases, so there we can inherit this base page object classes, and we can perform action. Mm, Basically we will prefer TestNG. TestNG, why we as prefer, because in JUnit limitation is there. So some features is missing in the JUnit. So it is a old one. So in TestNG, updated version is there. So we can use TestNG. In new features also is there, and assert assert features is there to test case pass or fail. We can do we can validate our test cases should be pass or fail. We can use a report. We can take screenshot. This all features uh, will will be advantage for the TestNG. So we will use TestNG. Data driven testing we can use, like it is a concept of when we are validating with valid data, also invalid data. We can our test cases should be pass or fail. For that we will use data driven testing. In data driven testing, in test data folder we will write our data. We store our data in the form of um, XLSS format, or any format we can use for file. Then we can use in src test resources. In this utilities, in utilities we will use excel utilities, and we will use excel utilities, and one more folder is there. Excel utilities we are using. In this different excel sheet format data is there, so we can different excel sheet data format data is there, different column. So we can pass in the excel utilities. From there we can mm, call this in our test cases in the base page. In base page we are storing this different column name. We can pass in that particular method, like name, first name, last name. We can pass by using giving that data type string, float, integer. Then we can run our test script. So we can pass their data. So by default it will take the different data, and it will execute, and it will give the report our how many test cases is passed with valid data, how many test cases are failed with the invalid data or valid data. So different data we can validate through uh, DDT, data driven testing. Basically, behavior driven development, it is used to help for non tech person, so they can understand easily in to see the feature file. Whatever the feature file it is written, it is in the simple English word, which is called as gherkin language. In this feature file, we will write given, when, then. Basically, in given, uh, which 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 element we want to automate, we are passing. And when, in when format, we will give that condition, like mm, which what is the condition we are passing, like valid data, invalid data we are passing for positive negative testing. And then we can, and then we are we are validating it. Our test case should be pass or fail, according to that valid data or invalid data. So corresponding action method, step definition, will be created in step definition package. So after that, in that test, we can run our test cases. So for it is helpful for non-tech person can understood how test engineer have written the test case according to the requirement or not. They can understand and analyze. In hybrid driven framework, I have used like page object utilities file, test case file. mm, then for data validation, I have used uh, Excel file. All this thing I have used test data separate folder. For log generate, we have used log folder. For extend report, I have used a different report folder. um, in hybrid driven framework, I have used base class. In base class, tear down and setup method is there. In tear down, whatever the prerequisite is there, like launching the browser, implicit wait, explicit wait, maximize the browser, delete all cookies, all this thing we have execute before the test cases execute. After test case execute, we will write tear down method, like close the browser, quit the browser, all this thing. uh, Also in certain base class, I have used property file. Property file, from property file we have to validate our data, like user ID, or email ID, password we have taken from the property files. Also we can see the TestNG also provide in the hybrid driven framework. We have also used TestNG. TestNG provide the assert method. So assert, basically two types: hard assert, soft assert. Short assert we have used. Log file also we have used in our hybrid driven framework. So it will basically see when the error will occur, in which line it will, exactly which line error will occur, it will show in the console, or we can see in the file. Also pom.xml file, it will provide for repository, different type of like selenium for for Excel reading and writing for purpose. We have used Apache Py XML for different data we have to generate. For that OXML, for that we have used faker library. All this thing we can execute in the pom.xml. After that, we have to update our project. So update our project, and we can run our test cases. Uh, Run our test cases. We can see in the console also. We can file in the file also. We can see. Yeah. Dynamic web element we can find out by using. We have to use partial link test. Also, we can use parent child relation. So if we find a child is a dynamic, so we can uh, traverse back to parent class and we can find the XPath. So it will not changing further. If it is changing, we can find easily. Okay. Yeah, we use ID, name, CSS selector, link test, parcel link test, XPath. Basically, every time we will use ID because it is faster and it is unique. So it is helpful for finding that locator. Like if we use ID, then we will use driver dot find element by dot id, then id value we have to pass. If you use name, then driver dot find element by dot name, we can pass the name. If it is class, then we use driver dot find element by dot class name we can use. If it is a tag name, then we can use driver dot find element by tag name, we can use tag name also. Pass the value as a tag name. If it is a xpath, if it is a css selector, then we will write driver dot find element by dot css selector, and we can pass by using comma or hash, and comma and hash. Mm, if it is a class, then we can use. If it is a xpath, then we have to inspect this element, then we have to find that element, and we will write double slash then tag name, then in square bracket we have to write that whatever the locator and the locator id, value is there, attribute id and attribute value is there. We will copy that xpath and we will write driver dot find element by dot xpath. Yeah. Property pop-up. Basically, we will handle this pop-up by using, if it is alert pop-up, then we will use driver dot switch to dot alert. Then it is return type also alert. We will take one reference variable. This reference variable we can use dismiss, accept, or send keys. If you want to close that alert, so we will use dismiss. If you also if you want to accept that pop-up, then we will write reference variable dot accept. If you want to pass something in this particular pop-up, then we will use driver that's reference variable dot send keys. And then authentication pop up, so we will pass the in the url we can pass the user id and password with the at the rate. Also, what pop up is there? um, Child window pop up is there, so child window pop up we can by using get window handles we can handle this pop up. Also, on notification pop-up is there. In notification pop-up, what we have to find this particular pop-up and pass that argument, add argument as an disable element, so this pop-up will be disappear. And we have to write mm, yeah. So we have to pass the in the send keys, and send keys we have to pass this pop-up reference variable as an argument. One more pop-up is there. Oh, yeah. We have to use a driver dot get window handles. and whatever the reference variable is there, so we have to use that reference variable in the for each loop. In for each loop, then we in this for each loop we have to write driver dot quit method, so all the windows windows will be closed. Synchronization I have used in my project like implicit wait, explicit wait, and fluent wait. In implicit wait, I have to use driver dot find element, um, driver dot driver dot manage dot timeout dot implicit wait duration of seconds I have used. It is used for it will work for find element methods. And explicit is it is used for when the condition is there, like WebDriver wait equal to new WebDriver wait, new WebDriver wait, and driver comma duration of seconds. Then wait till, until expected condition is like title is visible, mm, this page is selected, each page is selected. All this for condition we have used explicit wait. uh, we- and fluent wait also is there, so in fluent wait we have to pass. I have not used in my project basically, so I have used implicit wait and explicit wait. Okay. Yeah. By using capture the screenshot, uh, screenshot take screenshot, take screenshot okay. Yes, I have used data-driven testing in test data folder. We will write Excel file data. For that, I have used file utilities. In file utilities, 2D matrix, we have to store our data in rows and column format. So we can pass in the test cases. So it will do mm, data driven testing. So whenever actually I don't know that answer. So over the period of time, so we will when the development side any changes in the code or script, so we will find that element. So different web elements have changed. And so we have to go to that repository. We have to go to the test cases, whatever the in locator file is there. So we will find that element locator. So we will change the locator value. So after that, we have to update our project and we have to run our test cases. If it is executing fine, so we can maintain this way. We can maintain our code. And sometime pom.xml file different repository is there. In repository different version it will change, like selenium version change, testng version change. So according to the version, we have to updated version we have to install in our pom.xml file. So this way we can maintain our framework. No, we have used git. Yeah, I will write. Yeah. First, we have to write git command for from local repository to staging area. So we will write. Yes. Yes. Can you repeat the question? Okay. Okay. Yeah, this much I know. So right now I am not able to memorize all this status code. In software testing life cycle, basically, first feasibility study, then requirement collection, then then test planning, test execution, and then writing the test cases, test execution, test execution, and prepare test execution report, defect tracking, then maintenance. Testing level. Can you explain? Can you tell me that one more time? Question. Level of testing. Okay. So in level of testing, first it will come to integrate unit testing. From it is basically testing done by from the development side. After that, smoke testing will happen. In smoke testing, basically we'll do basic and critical functionality of an application. We will test like login functionality or basic functionality, and critical functionality we will do in the smoke testing. Black box testing also, it is done by development team. So in development side, they will do unit testing. So it is called black box testing. So we can each and every line of source of code they will test. So it is called black box testing. In black box testing, also called edge, black box, and gray box testing also we will call it black box testing. And mm, white box testing, it is basically done by test engineers. So mm, we will do white box testing. Difference between valid verification and validation. But verification and validation. Mm, verification, no, I'm not able to memorize that one. So bug life cycle. Okay. So when we found any defect in the application, we'll raise a bug in the we're going to JIRA, and we will create a bug, and we will assign that bug to the particular developer who have created the software, and we'll write the some features of that bug so in the description, and we will give the bug id, and we will send to the developer, and developer see the bug, and he will resolve the issue as soon as possible. After that, he will send to this um, particular defect, so particular fixed application. So we will test, and we will found any defect further, then we will reassign to that particular development. We will not close that bug. After developer see, they can do either fix the bug, or they will give the status like deferred or deferred. So deferred means they can't fix immediate basis, so they will postpone also. So if it is, then if they will fix the bug, then they will send to us, and we will retest that particular bug. And if it is genuinely solved, then we will close our bug in the JIRA. Otherwise, we will resend to that particular defect to that particular development developer. Yeah, I want to know my feedback about the interview. Okay, thank you.